Say hey, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Over there is my guy, Dabby Cab. Cabby Dab, how are you doing?
Good, man. Good. I got my first t-ball game for my daughter this morning, and they keep moving the times around, so that's exciting. Not looking forward to is I hate to tell her this, but I'm like, look, just play. If you lose, it's okay because the winner has like 5 games today, so I'm gonna need her to fucking go ahead and lose.
No, you got to tell her if you lose, we won't love you, and there won't be a bed for you when you come home tonight.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll make
Yeah.
sure my 5-year-old knows if she loses,
Yes.
she's out.
Yes, and then you'll be like, remember, head down on the ball, through the ball. And then if you like, and then whenever she gets out, you just got to be that pissed off parent. You got to yell, son of a bitch, and just throw your hat down. I can see it all.
Yeah, I've been waiting to be that parent that gets kicked out, man.
Good. I'm excited. I hope you'll argue with some umpires today, too. Let's get right into it, Cap, because I know you're a busy man with all the T-ball happenings. We'll get into records and all that here later, but let's get right into the games because there's a lot of games to break down. And I don't want people to wait around any longer. Let's go into Houston versus the Minnesota Twins and maybe my two favorite pitchers in the league that aren't on the Red Sox. This is extremely tough matchup for me emotionally. Luis Garcia versus Joe Ryan. I love them both dearly. I'm honestly going to pass and just enjoy watching this baseball game. I'm absolutely leaning to Houston, though, at minus 105. Luis Garcia pitched well in 2 starts against Minnesota last year. 5 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs at Minnesota. And then at home, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. I looked into his home road splits just out of curiosity. Home ERA 4.46. Road ERA of a 2.85. Very interesting there that he pitches better on the road. Maybe obviously because Houston's a little bit of a hitter-friendly ballpark, but I do like Luis Garcia on the road better than at home at the end of the day. So I passed on this game. Maybe even a first 5 under here. Shout out to DG who mentioned that earlier this week with Jesus Luzardo and Pablo Lopez. 2 pitchers I love as well. So pass, but maybe a first 5 under lean Houston. What about you, Cap?
Yeah, Joe Ryan's one of my favorite young pitchers. Also, I like his stuff here. He's only had 1 start against the Astros. Jesus Christ, it's early. He's only had 1 start against them. It didn't go great. But I think that he can probably get right here. This is a Astros lineup that without Altuve at the top, he's kind of like the catalyst for this team, and I think they struggle without him up there. Even when he's not, hitting like great, there's just some people that affect the lineup, and I think he's one of those people. The Astros, like I said, they seem like they struggle to score without him up top. So yeah, this is a tough one. I kind of lean the other way with Minnesota here, and Joe Ryan at home. I think he gets another win here, his second win at home, but I don't like it enough to bet it by any means.
Yeah, the tough spot is the Astros lineup. It's definitely a little barren on the bottom half of the lineup now, especially with no Altuve, like you mentioned. So I'll be interested in watching this game. I'll just be glued to the TV screen because I love both these guys. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. Let's move on to the next game on our slate. And shout out to everyone watching. As always, we appreciate you guys joining so early on a Saturday morning to cap some baseball. Mr. Vape, Andrew G, Viper MV, Justin McElvey, Bo Jackson, Rick J369, shout out to J Dub, D Jenkins. I think it's JW, I guess, because there's another J Dub and whatever, but you get it.
Shout out to our guy Rick J. He said Joe Ryan is a little homie beater, dominates weak lineups, and gives up 3 to 5 runs against a good lineup. Yeah, so when I said I like Joe Ryan, it's going to sound lame. He reminds me of myself, right? He's got like a low 90s fastball with movement. He's got good off speed. Nothing's like, overpowering, but it all has movement. It's all like he hits his spots. And that's why I like him. But yeah, I can definitely see him giving up a few runs here too. That's why I stayed off.
Cabby, could you explain to our guy Rick J369 what a sweeper is, please?
Like in between a curveball and a slider. So like a real curveball is like 12-6. And when people say that, it's like the clock, 12-6. So you come straight over the top and the ball should break straight down. A slider should break across. And so a little bit in between those, you're going to be, boom, kind of like a curve. I don't know. Kind of like a curve and a slider. It's just in between both.
And that's why you'll see the term slutter thrown around there. Shout out to the slutter. I love a slutter.
What's
Love
happening,
that.
man, is like a lot of people teach curveballs early and then realize like then you get older, then decent pitchers get older and they realize, oh, a slider is a much better pitch than a fucking curveball because it's harder to pick up. And that curveball turns into a slider, but it doesn't fully turn into a slider. So there's like an in-between pitch that's kind of been created because of it.
There we go. Cincinnati Reds, Philadelphia Phillies. Next matchup here. Bailey Falter getting a -170 or -140, excuse me, is a little funny. It is also hilarious that you looked around, you're like, oh, there's my baseball that I just have everywhere. Nick Lodolo on the bump here. I could easily be talked into backing the Reds here with the Phillies hitting so poorly so far. They're 20th against lefties, 99 weighted runs created plus. Only 81 at bats, so small sample size, obviously, but that's what we're working with. And the Reds obviously hit them a little better. 16th, 107 weighted runs created plus. I'll be interested to see how it goes, but I'll pass on this game as well. This was just an easy pass. A tough slate. I've only got 3 official plays thus far, and two of those are a double up on the last game. So
what?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows I hate Jose Barrios, or I fade him all the time. So we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, I've only got 3 plays thus far, a bunch of leans, but we'll see how that goes. Cap, what do you think about this game?
Man, another, like you said, today's card, man. I love these Saturdays. I love doing this with you. And I looked at today's card. I was like, man, this is dog shit. I was talking about it last night. I don't like today's pitching matchup. I don't like the cards. The Reds, like you said, they're enjoying a good open to their season. They won their first series against the Reds, split with the Cubs this week. And, the Phillies are off to a terrible start. But shout out to our guy, Razor Sharp Picks. Last night we were talking, baseball's a game of runs. It's a game of ebbs and flows. It's just kind of how it goes. And they are 2-3 their last 3 games. I know that's a very small sample size. We have a small sample size for the whole season. The Phillies are still a decent ball club, I think. With the Reds here, though, this guy's one of their better pitchers. He had a 3.66 ERA. He's been able to contain the Phillies. He pitched against them for 12.1 innings last year. He only conceded 4 runs. That's stellar. So I think this could be a good spot again here for the Reds. Again, I'm not looking to jump out against the Phillies with the Reds early in this season, but yeah, I lean Reds here also.
Yeah, Bailey Falter had a good start against the Rangers last time. 5 1/3, 2 earned runs there. So shout out to him, but I don't think he can go back-to-back good starts.
No, he's not. He's not.
I'll be interested to see. Shout out to BJ, by the way, making some big boy bets there. A grand on the Cardinals money line and the Angels money line. I'm on there with you, BJ. I'm on there with you with the Angels, so I'm hoping you cash there, buddy. Hope you cash those tickets. Thanks for dropping those chats. Hope you hit the like button on your way out. Let's move on to Kansas City Royals, San Francisco Giants. And if you're a watcher of the Say Hey Minutes, you'll know this was my Say Hey Minute play of the day. 5-2, excuse me, on the Say Hey Minute play, up 3 units so far. So I hope you guys are tuning into that. It's only a minute long. Hit the like button for that as well. Drop a comment. Let me know if you're tailing. But I believe in Brady Singer here, guys, flat out. I backed him in his first start. I believe he cashed for me. I meant to look that up this morning, but I didn't. But I backed him in his first start. I know that for sure. I'm going to back him here again. Sean Manaea on the bump for the Giants. First time up for Sean Manaea. He was a relief pitcher to start the season. Then I put him in the rotation. That makes me feel like, okay, well, obviously they didn't trust him enough to start in the rotation because he might be not good anymore, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to trust him. I'm going to trust them here. I'm going to trust the Royals. Offense in a big ballpark. I'm hoping their speed can be put to use here, and I'm going to be very excited. For some reason, I wrote that Sean Manaea was a righty too, so I know he's obviously a lefty, and it actually makes me feel a little better than he's a lefty. Royals are 118 weighted runs created plus and 42 plate appearances against lefties this year. That's 11th best in the league. So give me the Royals here. I'm also going to be interested to see how he does. Sean Manaea is being because he pitched against the Royals last year and gave up 6 earned runs and 10 hits and 4 innings pitched. So hoping he pitches well here. Only concern for me is Brady Singer's home road splits, almost a 4 ERA on the road, but I'm hoping that the Giants Stadium can help me take care of that. So, Cap, what do you want?
Man, again, when we talk about this being a tough card, it's like last game I said I like the Reds. Here I agree. I kind of lean I'd take Kansas City in the first half or first 5 here. Not necessarily a full game. Their bullpen is just fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, you don't. In my opinion, anybody who's looking at Kansas City here, just fucking stay the hell away from their bullpen. I would go first 5 here because I like Singer also. And Manaea, he's one of those guys, like, even when he's got his stuff, he still seems to find a way to walk. I know he doesn't even throw from the same side of the fucking plate as Nick Martinez, but they were on the same team last year, so my brain puts them together. Manaea's going to walk somebody, he's going to give up a bomb. Even if he's throwing perfect, he's going to do it. It's just what they do. And again, shout out to Nick Martinez for cashing the first 5 team total over yesterday. He did it by walking a run in. He walked 3 people, not in a row, but 3 people almost consecutively. He's just a fade. And Manaea, I see the same thing. He'll be cruising along. Then he gives you one of those beautiful flat fastballs to just fucking blast over the fence. So yeah, I can't get behind him here. And you look at what the Giants have been doing, man. It's like every other game, their offense explodes. 0 runs against New York, then they put up 12 the next game against the White Sox. 3 runs against the White Sox, then they put up 16 against the White Sox. 1 run yesterday against Kansas City. I know we can't put any stock into the fact that it's 1-1-1. But yeah, this is a spot where, according to what they've been doing this year, their offense, their streaky offense could turn on. But I don't see it. I'd look for the Royals first 5 in this game. Maybe even an over. I like Singer, like I said, but I still think if he has a good start, he gives up a couple runs. I could see this easily being like a 3-2 ball game. Maybe at the end of 5, 3-2. So that'd get over it if the first 5 is a 4. So yeah, maybe the first 5 over also.
Yeah, I like Singer here, but I am a little worried about the home road split. Excuse me. And I will say, I thought this was like a misprint. I don't know why this is real, but Giants are apparently second against righties right now in weighted runs created plus, 137 weighted runs created plus. So I was pretty surprised to see that. So a little concerned on that end. And the money or the line has moved towards the Giants. Last night it was at minus 140. Actually, no, excuse me. It moved towards the Royals there. It was at minus 140. Now it's at minus 135. So I'll be interested to see. I was thinking of Nut Flush Allen.
Yeah, there he is. I was going to click it for you.
Be ready for the Giants to show up today. So there you go. Nut Flush Allen thinks the Giants will show up today. So a little worried. I'm on the Royals. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Are you full game on the Royals?
No, first 5.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, I don't want to deal with that bullpen either. But let's move on. Nut Flush, let us know if you have any more thoughts on your Giants today in the chat as well. I think they're going to show up today. I think it'll be a good game. Texas Rangers, Chicago Cubs here in Wrigley. Justin Steele versus Martin Perez. 2 pitchers I like. Justin Steele I think might be a good back pitcher this year at home versus Milwaukee last time out. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs there. 8 Ks, 1 walk. Impressive. It was early. Maybe the young bats hadn't gotten going yet from Milwaukee, but still an impressive start nonetheless. Versus my guy, Martin Perez. It's hilarious how quickly I've changed on Martin Perez. I was so out on him to begin the year, and now he's my guy. I love him to death.
He's thrown once. What do you fucking mean you were out on
him?
Him?
Well, I mean, last year when he left the Red Sox, went back to the Rangers, I was like, yeah, no, he's washed. He's done. And then I was like, then he came back, pitched great last year. The pitch is great for Venezuela, sings a national anthem. I love him. I've got no play in this game. I honestly think these teams are kind of similar. To be honest, I think these teams can be a very similar mirror of each other. Both teams that are just kind of like maybe like 500-ish, don't make the playoffs, and they're each side of their divisions or each side of the league. So I pass on the game, like I said. Maybe a first 5 under here, but the wind's kind of moving a little bit. According to Swish, there we go. According to Swish, it's not supposed to be that big of a deal. It's going from right to left, 9 mile an hour it winds, which I guess in Wrigley is not that big of a deal, but I pass on this game. I expect.
Do you got the temperature in Chicago right now?
According to Swish, it'll be 52 degrees at game time. So that obviously that's on Swish, it's not the Weather Channel. So keep aware of that. But that is what Swish says, around 52. Might be a little chilly, yeah.
Okay, I mean, because man, and I hate to say this, but I went over first 5 yesterday and got blasted. Terrible bet, especially with the weather here. But man, I don't like either of these teams, man. I want the Rangers to be good, like I do. If there's one team that I kind of want to root for, it's them. I was rooting for them pretty heavy when I was playing back when Hamilton and Cruz and all those guys were rolling for them. But this Rangers team's not good. Okay, they swept the Phillies early. Everyone got excited. I was like, okay, cool. They won their home series, but this is still not a good lineup. They struggle like from top to bottom. When you got a 33-year-old sitting at the top of your lineup and a 32-year-old right after that, it's just, I don't know. There's not much upside to this lineup. Perez on the other side, I hated on him too. I'll say it. I did for a while, but I've watched him closely. He's not Rogers. He's not Nick Martinez. He's not one of those flat guys. Perez does have movement. He can move it in and out. He can move it up and down. He's a good pitcher. I'll go ahead and give it to him. Perez is a good pitcher. I like the Rangers in this spot. I think it's a game that they can win. I don't think they're a great team, but I think they know that too. And I think that they know when DeGrom and Perez are on the mound, they need to fucking win. If they want to have any kind of chance this season, when these guys are throwing, they need to win. I like the Rangers here. I'm not betting it.
Beautiful. By the way, shout out to Andrew G going on a 5-kilometer walk after the show. God.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that. Fuck that. Inside home body for me.
I don't know how far 5 kilometers is. I'm a stupid American.
I think it's like I was gonna guess like 2.5 miles, something like that.
I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest. Like I'm one of those people that sucks. I'm in America. I don't fucking know what a kilometer is.
Yeah, shout out to you, Cab. I don't know either, but I passed this game. It'll be interesting to see. I think this will be a good matchup. And by the way, my last note on it: Venezuelans don't work well in the cold, so keep that.
Do Venezuelans go kilometers or miles?
There's kilometers there, but I don't.
It's everywhere but the United States, right?
Yeah. Boston Red Sox, Detroit Tigers. Next game on our slate: Tanner Houck versus Joey Wentz. Joey Wentz, who I looked into a little more, has pitched pretty well. Like I looked at all his starts last year. Only had 2 starts where he gave up runs. There was 3 and then 2. It was fine. Both starts were okay. Last year, or their last start, gave up 3 against Toronto. A good lineup here. I'd be worried if I'm the Red Sox. It was minus 150 last night, all the way down to minus 135. So that's kind of telling. I guess I'm saying I'd lean towards Detroit team total over here because I don't think Tanner Houck can go back-to-back starts with good starts, I should say. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs on 2 home runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk against Baltimore last time out. The Red Sox, really all they need him to do is go 5 innings. But I'm concerned. He walks a lot of dudes in spring training. Didn't do it last time. I'll be surprised if he does that again. I am trying to do a homer play of the day now and track myself. This will be an unofficial play of the day for me, but you can tail if you want. I'm tracking it because I would like to bet on the Red Sox every day and see how my record is. I'm going to take Red Sox -1. Believe it was at
what did you just say? You're going to bet the Red Sox every day?
Yeah. I do it very quietly.
Like on them or like in the game
on them. I bet on them every day very quietly because when I watch the games, I want to sweat a little bit more, et cetera, et cetera. So I call it my homer play of the day now.
I hope you're using a $1 unit for your homer play of the day.
No, I sweat. I definitely sweat. But it's a fun time. I think the Red Sox might be in trouble here today. I would lean officially towards the Tigers team total over. But I'm passing on this game as of right now. Cab, what do you think?
So you lean Detroit. You lean the team total for Detroit, and you're putting your money on the Red Sox.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna say anything else on it. Look, both of these teams. This game right here. I guess if it was in Boston, there's no doubt that I'd be on the over already. In Detroit, I'm not sure that I really want to play this over, but I lean over here. These are both just mediocre pitchers, to say the best. They're not bad. Run of the mill, you want to say, both these starters. And bullpens, Boston's actually ranked 12th right now with the 3.31 ERA, while Detroit's sitting at 24th with the 5.2 ERA. But these bullpens aren't good. Those numbers are going to continue to inflate, especially Boston's. I think we're going to see runs here, and I think we're going to see runs the entire game, not just early. I think we'll see some early. I think we'll see some late. I like the over in this spot here.
I love all the people in the chat. Like, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't. It's just how I like watching the Red Sox game. I like to make myself sweat a little more. So,
Bo said you're sounding like Ski now. What, Ski bet on the Lakers all the time or something?
Who knows? I like I said, I just like doing it just because I like sweating out the games. It makes the bet games more exciting for me. et cetera, et cetera. It's just like the gambler in me now. If I don't have action on the game, I'm not as invested. So it's just how I get more invested.
I couldn't even watch sports until I started after baseball ended. I couldn't even watch them until I started gambling on them. And I was like, oh, okay, now I feel it in my heart now. Wait,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
Money. That's not my heart. That's my pocket. Is it my heart or is it my pocket? I don't know, but I feel it, so I like it.
I'll tell you, when the Red Sox cash my bets, it makes me feel a lot better. It makes me feel a lot better as well. So it's just something I do. I definitely do not endorse it. I don't tell everyone else to do it. And like I said, I've been doing it very quietly, but I just put a name on it and I'm tracking it now to see. 0-1, by the way, so far to start the year. Next game on our slate, New York Mets, Miami Marlins, the return of Kodai Senga again versus Trevor Rogers. These teams facing off against each other. These pitchers facing off against each other. And I'm being a little bitch here, Cab. I'm going to be honest. I'm being a little bitch here. I want to bet the first 5 over in this game. Like I said, both these guys have just seen each other. Kodai Senga against the Miami Marlins at the Marlins, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, 3 walks. Generally good. Got himself out of trouble in his first inning, I believe, if I can remember correctly, and then cruised after that. Trevor Rogers, a good pitcher, but gave up 4 runs, 3 of them earned last time out. I think he's a good pitcher.
No, he's not.
I think he gets touched up here again. He went back-to-back against the Mets in 22 last year. The exact same thing basically happened in both starts. It was 3-4 earned runs each time, 5-6 innings. I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happened here again. And on top of that,
what do you base your comment off? Why is he a good pitcher? Because you like him? What makes you think he's a good pitcher? I'm just curious because I've heard other people say this too. I just want to know.
All right, let's pull up Trevor Rogers.
Yeah, I got you right here. What do you want to know? Year. So 2020, his first season, he had a 6.11 ERA and only 28 innings pitched. Opponent batting average of 283, a 1.61 WHIP.
I'll take a 2 ERA, 2.6. That plays.
What do you mean 2.6? That's one season where he had 133 innings. Over his career, he's got a 4.16 ERA, which isn't bad. Look, I know. Look, a 4.16 ERA in the major leagues is like that's not bad. So I get what you're saying. It's not bad, but it's like he's riding it off that one season, bro. You take out that one season in 2021, 2022, he had 107 innings pitched, had a 5.47 ERA, opponent batting average of 274, a 1.5 WHIP. He's got a lifetime opponent batting average of 248. That's just way too, and a WHIP of 1.34. That's in 272 innings. So that's a good sample size. To me, he just gets hit too much. His ball's too flat. Like I always say, I can't have flat fastballs.
Maybe it's because he's a lefty too. Maybe that's why I like him as well. But I think he can harness that 2.6 again. Look at this. He didn't even mute his mic like an idiot. There you go. I love all this.
I did or didn't?
Stella. You didn't even mute it. So fucking Stella.
Oh, my dog's barking. Sorry.
Oh, tell her. Fuck Stella.
Yeah, fucking
bitch. No, I think both these guys can get touched up here because at the end of the day, I think the second time around for the pitchers is very beneficial for the hitters. They've seen him once, and especially with Kodai Senga here, no one had anything really on him last time. It was his first start in the majors. Goes out there, throws well. I think the Miami Marlins, after seeing him a first time, will get to him a second time. And by the way, I'll say this. It's already juiced. And that's the part that's, I guess, kept me off of it as of right now. It's at 4 -120 for the first 5 over. I think I'll stop being a little bitch and bet it, but I never loved the juice. So
I took the Mets team total here. I got Mets team total over 4 at -110.
Yeah, I saw someone else put that in the chat just now, and it's not a bad look at all. Because Trevor Rogers seemingly is going to give you 3 or 4 by himself.
Yeah, that's why I have got to get a fucking book that has first 5 team totals. I've been saying that for a minute now, because I would definitely go first 5, but I bet the first 5's over 2.5 at plus money because there is no way in hell it's at 2 or 1.5. So I'm sure it's at 2.5 plus money. So I'm cool with the full game at 4.
Yeah, well, there we go. Dami Gunn's on the under 4 at -115 there. That's very interesting, and we'll have an announcement with Dami Gunn here shortly at the end of the show. Shout out to Dami gun there. I wrote down that first 5 over. I'll look at it. And I'll also write down that Mets team total over, and I'll look at that as well. And we'll come back to it at the end.
Another thing I'll say is the Mets they're like I always say, baseball's a game of flows. They put up 9 runs and 6 runs their last 2 games, and that was coming off back-to-back shutouts against the Brewers. Their bats are heating up. The second game at home, they put up 9 at home yesterday. Another home game here. I like their team total over here. I love it.
All right, let's move on. And yes, by the way, BetOnline definitely has good baseball odds as well. And don't forget to sign up using Pub Sports as your promo code there. Shout out to BetOnline. And they have first 5 team totals. Oakland A's, Tampa Bay Rays here. This could be a quick breakdown here. I'll say this. I thought it was going to be a minus 300. I thought I was going to have to bet the A's today. I was a little shocked that I didn't have to. Shintaro Fujinami making his second start. His first one was not good. It was good for 2 innings, and then he got into the 3rd inning, and it just absolutely fell apart for him. It made me kind of feel like, oh, this guy might be a reliever, but we'll see what happens here against Jeffrey Springs, who had the best start of all the pitchers in their first rotation. 6 innings, no hits, 12 Ks, 1 walk against the shitty Detroit Tigers. Would not be afraid or not be surprised if he did it again here against the Oakland A's. I'm passing. I'm sure a lot of you guys are on like first 5 again, -1, or maybe even full game -2, something like that. I'm passing. I just think the Rays right now are really good, and then we'll see what happens when they play not a bottom feeder team, but I like the Rays a lot.
Yeah, I'm not used to the Rays scoring all these runs either. I don't think any of us are. We're not used to them scoring it. But let's be honest. Like, who have they played so far? Fucking nobody. You just said it. They have literally played nobody so far. And I don't know what to take from it. I'm not trying to say that they're not a good team, because obviously they are. But I don't know who they are yet. And I still expect Tampa to slow down. I expect their bats to cool off. And Oakland's shown the ability to fight, but they're still. Let's be honest. They're still one of the worst teams in the majors. Like, easily. You look at their lineup from top to bottom, you look at the rotation, they're just one of the worst teams in baseball. And the idea of backing one of the worst teams in baseball against the hottest team in baseball isn't something that I can get behind. Even though I fully expect regression out of the Rays soon, I'm not betting it. Not here.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly as well there. There will be a regression most likely, but I don't think it'll come in.
Well, there has to be. It's just baseball. Nobody's going to put up 5-6 runs a game. There has to be regression. It's just I'm not betting on it.
Yeah, and I will say this. I think the Rays are really good, and I think they could win this division. Their pitching staff is that good, and if they can keep piecing it together on offense, then sure, why not? Staff. But I think it'll be very, very interesting, to say the least, in this game. Let's move on to another game because we've got Dab for a little more time here. Seattle versus the Cleveland Guardians. We've got Marco Gonzales versus Cal Quantril, 2 pitchers that I just really don't like. And we've already seen this before. These pitchers faced off in Seattle, Cleveland, part 1. Marco went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. Cal Quantril, 4 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned there. You could say probably lean towards an over here, but ultimately I'm passing because I don't trust either pitcher here to put my money on them. I definitely, like I said, would lean over, but it's just a scary time to bet overs with either one of these pitching staffs, because maybe these guys go 5 innings, they give up, 3 runs each, 6-6, and then their bullpen just kind of shut it down and someone scores late to win the game. You can easily see that kind of stuff, and you go under by a hair and just end up pissed off for the rest of your night. So an over 8.5, again, lean, but pass.
Yeah, the Guardians here, they've won 5 of their 7 games. They're doing well on offense. Runs in their last 3 games. That's exceptional. I think this is another spot. They're good against left-handers so far this season. They've had success against Gonzales. He's given up 7 runs in his last 3 starts against them. So you look at past, and you look at where they're at now. I think this is a good spot for Cleveland. They've got a good bullpen also. They already lead the league right now early in the season with 4 saves. So I don't expect them to give up a ton of runs in this spot. And I expect them to score. So yeah, I think this is a good spot for Cleveland right here.
Did you know that you kind of look like Cal Quantril?
No, I didn't know that.
Look at this. That's Cal Quantril in college. I can see it.
Because I'm white with dark hair that's kind of long? Like, what the fuck, Jose?
Yeah, no, I didn't say it. The chat's saying it. Look,
Right. I got
it
you.
might be there. Other people are saying Justin Bieber, but I thought it was Cal Quantrill. I think it's a better
I'll take this over Justin Bieber. Thank you.
No problem. See, there you go. You have to put in perspective.
How in
Kat.
the fuck did you get a picture that fast and put it on screen?
Because I wasn't really listening to you. I'll be honest. I saw the Cal Quantrill thing, and I was like, I need to do my research here. I need to do this research immediately. And you kind of do. You kind of do. So shout out to you. And maybe it is because you are a white guy with black hair, whatever color hair you have. So
you got that backwards, Andrew. You can see a little of him. And wait, I don't know. Whatever. Go ahead, Jose.
All right, next game, because I'm passing on this game. I thought this game was easy. You like Cleveland, you said?
Yes, I like Cleveland in this spot. Yeah, I do. I think that I think this Cleveland team's gonna have a good run this season. I really do.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. I like them a lot as well. Those teams that don't pay a lot of money for their teams, but always find a way to be good, are ending up to be the talk of the town right now. Chicago White Sox, Pittsburgh Pirates. What a game yesterday. A fun game to watch. The Buccos score a shitload of runs. The White Sox are an interesting squad. I wrote down a White Sox team total over here in this game. Vince Velasquez facing his former team here. I think the White Sox will have a lot of knowledge on him. And obviously the ball was flying yesterday. But I'm a little scared, Cap. As they say in the NBA show, maybe I need to go to church, I guess. Because I just don't trust the White Sox at the end of the day. Maybe I've been scarred so much last year's White Sox. I don't think I bet on them this year, but at the end of the day, I was just a little worried about betting on them here, team total. It was a 4.5. I forgot what the line is. I'll mention Mike Clevenger on the bump again. Surprisingly pitched well last time. After all the bullshit he went through in the offseason, pitched well, 5 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs against Houston. And I was thinking maybe the psychology of it, because maybe this is his escape from all the bullshit on the outside world. He gets to escape and just do his thing out there. Maybe that's why, or a part of why he's pitching so well. So I'm not going to back him here. I'll pass on that, but maybe a White Sox team total. Maybe if you're feeling frisky, a Pirates team total, because like Peter Loshak says, they always play better at home. They've got value at home, et cetera, et cetera. I just don't want to back Vince Velasquez in any shape or form here. So I'll be interesting there. Tommy Gunn's backing the White Sox there. Picks from Dave saying, I need Jesus. I need to go to church, all that stuff. Rocco is on first 5. White Sox, excuse me. Not applicable saying Pirates suck. And you also apparently look like Luke Farrell. Interesting. Shout out to John Farrell.
Do what?
You look like Luke Farrell.
I don't know who that is.
He's a pitcher that sucks.
He's a pitcher that sucks? Okay.
John Farrell's kid.
All right. Well, look, yesterday's spot was a good spot to look at. I wasn't here to talk about it. I'm mad at myself that I missed it. The Chicago White Sox, that was the perfect example of a bad travel spot yesterday. They turned around, had a game within 24 hours where Pittsburgh had a day off. Lance Lynn only threw 4 innings, 4.1 innings or something like that. Chicago's bullpen was already taxed going into the game yesterday. So they had a taxed bullpen yesterday going into the game. They gave up 12 runs yesterday. As much as I think that this seems like a really easy layup for Chicago right here, I'd pump the brakes because it's not. Their bullpen's not rested. Like you said, Clevenger had a great game last game. I like Clevenger. I think he's got good stuff. He's got the movement that I look for in pitchers. But I don't think he's elite. Elite would be an extreme stretch for him. He's just good. I think Pittsburgh can put up some runs here. I'm definitely staying away from this game. I'm not a fan of anybody, but I do have teams that I hate, like Oregon in basketball and fucking Chicago in baseball.
Does that extend to the Cubs?
No, Cubs are fine. I just fuck the White Sox, bro.
That's funny. And by the way,
hate them, and it's just because they lose my money, bro. I hate this fucking manager falling asleep in the bullpen last year. This trash. That shit was sick, man.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. They got to regain my trust. They have to regain my trust. So I'll pass on this game too. And apologies for passing on a lot of these games, guys. But like we say, we don't do this for shits and giggles. We want to make some money here today. So passing is a better decision than making a bet that you don't love to make. And obviously gamble responsibly. Next game on our slate, it's New York Yankees, Baltimore Orioles, and I was fucking pissed off here, Cap, because of course the Yankees in classic fashion. Yesterday I saw Nestor Cortez listed. I got excited. I wrote out my Cortez notes. He dominates the Orioles. I was like, great, I'll bet on the Yankees tomorrow. And of course, we get fucking Yanni Brito here on the bump here, who pitched well in his appearance last time out, but I'm not backing him. I don't have any notes on him. I know his last start was obviously a good one. I actually at least have that last start. 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs there against the Giants, but I ultimately passed. Cole Irvin struggled against the Red Sox last time, struggled against the Yankees last year when he was on Oakland. 7 innings of 5 earned run ball, 2 home runs there. I'm set. I'm all set here. Maybe I'll lean towards the over again here as well. But ultimately, I will probably pass on this game as well.
Yeah, the only thing that I would look towards is the over. I think you just said it. And that's another thing, too. When I look at a card and like I don't really like something, but like overs kind of stick out, I know it's not a good card. Like when I'm looking at it and I just see a couple overs that I like this one, I know it's not a good card. Shout out to our guy Noli, because when he's saying with the unders, what did he say? I'll never forget it. He said if the teams play like they're supposed to, the game goes under, right? And these are professionals, so like they should play how they're supposed to. The game should go under, and I love that. So when I'm seeing overs, it's not something that I'm going to jump out and make a lot of bets on. I did it yesterday, and I got fucking thrashed is the first really bad day that I've had this season. And I knew it. Like as I did it, I was like, man, it's kind of cold across the country. Like I just knew it going into it. So I'm not going to set myself up for that again. I lean over here. I'm not betting it.
Yeah, lean over here. Shout out to you guys in the chat. As always, it is Johnny Brito, whatever his name is, starting for the Yankees, not Nestor Cortez. I thought it was going to be. It was listed last night as, but unfortunately not. But let's move on here. Next game on our slate. And by the way, shout out to Roger that 215 for joining us and not applicable Yankee smash in my honor. You're not good at muting the mic today, Cab. I love this.
Is it not? I mean, what the fuck? It's muted.
You're broken. Yeah, you're broken. Or maybe you're not even using that mic. Maybe you're not even kidding. That'd be funny. Cardinals Brewers next game on our slate. Jordan Montgomery versus Eric Lauer here. And I don't know, is this the auto bet? Are we just going to keep betting Cardinals against Yankees or Cardinals against lefties? No, it's not working now. So there you go.
So I fixed it.
Okay, now you're good.
Shout out to anybody who took my over 2.5 mutes today. I didn't have my mic on. Suck it.
Yeah, so I can't mute myself there, fuckers. But yeah, is it Cardinals team total just auto bet against lefties? Eric Lauer's a good lefty. I like him a lot, but he faced the Cardinals, 3 times last year, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Got touched up a lot. He pitches better at home, though, does Eric Lauer. Last year, 2.56 ERA at home compared to a 4.76 on the road. So I just don't know what to make of this game, and I don't like Jordan Montgomery. I'll amend that. I do like Jordan Montgomery, but I don't like him in this spot, I'll say. I think he could be a credible pitcher. I think he could be a decent pitcher. Last time out against Toronto, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk. Not bad. You'll take that every time. He pitched against Milwaukee twice last year, and kind of in a predictable, spot. First time against Milwaukee, never seen him before, dominates him. There you go, Cab. Out of the way. The mute button's back. But he dominated them the first start, 6 innings, no earned runs, and then the second time after they seen him, 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned. So I'm passing here as of right now, but I wanted to see what everyone thought about a little Cardinals team total action here. They were the best team against lefties last year. They're 23rd on 93 weighted runs created plus, and only 38 at plate appearances. So maybe, that's only just a small sample size. And obviously I'd rather trust their last year's stats because I think they can get to these lefties. But at what price? Just double checking to see what Cardinals team total over was. If I wanted, it'd be a 5 at -105. So that's kind of brutal. Maybe just a full game over, which is actually a 9 now, 8.5 from a 9 at -105. So what do you think here, Cab?
I agree with our guy, Domi, in the chat. Shout out to him. He said he thinks this is a good spot for St. Louis. I agree. I think this is a real good spot for St. Louis as a bounce back win. I think Montgomery is the better pitcher of the two. Last year he had a 3.5 under a 3.5 ERA, and he's done well against Milwaukee in his career. On the other side, terrible. He's been terrible against St. Louis. Lauer's not done good at all throughout his career against St. Louis, allowing multiple runs in 6 of his 7 outings, which is a lot. 6 of his 7 starts, he's given up multiple runs here. And I still think the Cardinals have one of the better offenses in baseball. So, this is a spot that I think is a good spot for the Cardinals. And I think Milwaukee, as great as they've been playing, is probably getting loved just because of what they've been doing. I know better than to expect them to stick with this. I think it's a good spot for St. Louis. I'll actually probably get to the window on this one.
What are you going to bet?
That's what I got to decide. I'm either going to take the first 5 run line, or maybe I'll create like a -1 line like you do.
Well,
you have the calculator on you?
I do. Yeah, I'll drop it in the chat for those who need.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put that on you.
No worries. I have it open, so it's easy. I do it all the time now.
Oh, wow. You can get over 1.5 for the hits, runs, RBIs. Shout out to our guy, JW. If you can get -125, that's not a lot of juice for over 1.5 on Goldsmith's hits, runs, RBIs. I said this last year, and I'll say it again. Out of all the props in baseball, that's my favorite prop right there. Hits, runs, RBIs. When people just do the hits, I get it, but there's productive at bats when you don't get base hits. You can still have a productive at bat, whether you work a walk or whether you get a fucking sacrifice fly. It doesn't matter. And that prop right there includes productive at bats. So it's like you're betting on somebody to have a good game, not just to get hits.
I like that. Yeah. Shout out to you there, JW. I will say this has been a dramatic move as well. I wrote down this line -135 on Bovada, now -150 up to, I believe, -160 now, I believe. Yeah, -165 actually now since we're recording. So yeah, fuck. It's one of those things, man. It seems like Cardinals are the play here in some form or fashion here. I don't want to take that team total over 5. And let me do that quick run line calculator.
What's their first 5 team total? 2.5 at plus money?
No way it would be plus money. Let me tell you real quick. The run line calculator, if you wanted a -1, would be -132.
Gross.
So juicy on that front. And if you want a Cardinals first 5 team total over, wow, 2.5 at -115. That would be a little more juicy. That's on Bet Online. You can get a 2.5 at -105. Wow, on Bovada. All right. You know what, Cab? I'll join you there.
So you're putting me on it because I was thinking that I might do it. I guess you can just make the choice for both of us. I'll get on that too.
Well, yeah, I'm betting it. You do whatever you want to do.
I'll tell you this right now, and for everybody in the chat, if I give something, I'm like probably the only person who's been on with our guy. Shout out Jimmy. I'll go on his show and I'll give out 0 bets if I don't like it. If I give something out, I'm betting it. Like, I don't get up here just to fucking blow wind out of my mouth. If I say I'm betting something, I'm putting money on it.
Yeah, no. And by the way, MMA Locker Room with another comparison. Elvis. It's a good one. Good one. 2.5 for -105 for the Cardinals there. And you can get 2.5 plus 150 for the Brewers if that's what you're interested in as well, which is not bad. Not bad there.
Hey, there you go. Shout out our guy Joe. He found a good. See, we got such people who are so smart with how they make their bets. He said Cards to win and team total over 3.5 is -115. That's better than taking the juice on the -1, and I think it could even be better than laying the run line there. I think that's a great bet, man.
I love that as well. I love that as well. That's those legal books, man. If we had legal books in Texas, like
what are those? What are you talking? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I know. If I have a friend that uses FanDuel, lives in DC. He parlayed a first basket in the NBA with a Masters winner, and I was like, dude, that's so fucking degenerate. I want to do that. Like, I can't do that with any of our books. They're just like, nah. So yeah, shout out to my friend there.
Mine stopped letting me bet fucking. Like it lowered my amount of money that I was allowed to bet on props simply because I kept hitting the Jordan Clarkson prop and I kept raising it. And they were like, oh, fuck you. You can't bet more than $250 on a prop now. I was like, what the hell is that?
Yep, that's what happens. That's how they'll
Yeah.
fucking get you. All right, let's go Padres Braves next game up, and Cab, you have to leave us here soon, right?
What time is it? I got a dip, man. First T-ball
Yes.
game. Man, shout out to you guys in the chat. If it wasn't the first game, I'll be honest, I'd show up late. But since it's the first game, I'm a dip. But next Saturday, I'll be here for the full time. Thank you, Jose. I love you guys in the chat. Seriously. We don't have shit without you guys, so thank you.
No
Jose,
problem.
finish it strong. You got this. How many games you got left? 1, 2, 3,
We only got
4?
4 games left, so no worries. Thank you, Cab. Your work was appreciated, and go tell your daughter that she sucks at T-ball.
Fuck you, Jose.
There we go. That was Dabby Cab. There we go. Shout out to Dabby Cab. Yes, he has a T-ball games he's going to. It's going to be very exciting for him. I'm sure he's excited. First T-ball game for his daughter. So that'll be a lot of fun. Let's finish out this slate strong, lads. And apologies if we were going a little fast pace there. I did want to get in as many games as I could with one Cadabra. Now we've got a great game here. And it's been a great series. And, I will say, Joe, that's fucking cold. That's a cold comment by Joe Yurkovich there. But I will say this is arguably two of the best teams, if not the best teams in the National League, Padres, Braves. 2 shit pitchers. Charlie Morton versus Michael Wacha. Michael Wacha had a good year last year, but regression was coming for him as well. So 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs against the Rockies. It was all right. It was fine. I couldn't get there at the end of the day backing him there, and I can't get there backing him here as well. I definitely could see why people would be on a team total over for the San Diego Padres, maybe even a full game over for both teams here. Charlie Morton, a decent first start out this year. 5 1/3, 9 hits, limited to damage to only 3 earned runs there for Charlie Morton. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. I actually wrote a note for myself last night to check Baseball Savant for both of these guys, and I have not done that yet. So I'll be interested to see how their spin rates and mile per hour is compared to last year. Yeah, you get a 4 right now, a 14 total for the Padres at -115. So that's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's very interesting indeed. I don't think I'm going to play it. 8th right now are the Padres, 114 weighted runs created plus. So I'll be interested there. And by the way, a lot of good gambling chat happening in the comments. Markel asking what's an offshore book. Those are the comments you got to ask, Markel. Good question. Those are just like your books that aren't located in America, not your FanDuels, not your DraftKings, like Bet Online, fairly certain offshore. Bovada, fairly certain's an offshore. I think Bovada, they all have your addresses in Angola or places like that. But yeah, those are just your offshore online books, basically. MyBookie.ag and all offshore. I think it's typically the books that have a .ag or .whatever in their website title. So, all right, yes, that is Rocco. That's how we cook here in Texas. We use those offshores, baby. We need them. I'm going to be interested to watch this game. I don't think I'll have a play on it, unfortunately, but it'll be interesting to watch. Like I mentioned, 2 great teams going at it. And there you go, guys. There's your explanation on an offshore book. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. I got you guys. And by the way, yes, JPZ, a good mention there as well. I didn't have any play on this game, so I didn't have to worry about it too much, but rain in the forecast in Truist Park. Even on Swish Analytics, it's saying there's rain. It says there's 80% rain at the beginning of the game, but it doesn't say anything after. And I'll actually pull up the weather website, I guess, weather.com, to see how the weather is in Atlanta, Georgia. Right now, it is raining currently, and there's definitely a potential for heavy rainfall. I've even got the Doppler radar in here, and it's raining. And obviously, the Masters are in Georgia too, so it's been a big thing. But I think it'll clear up. So I think this game goes. Might be delayed at first, but I'm ultimately passing as well. All right, let's move on here. Dodgers versus the Diamondbacks. Thor versus Zach Davies. And I've looked at my notes here, and unfortunately, I'm passing on all these games except for the last one. So I can make my breakdowns a little quicker until we get to the last one because we all know what's coming there. But I'm going to pass on this game too. I'm interested to see how Noah Syndergaard does. Of course, he goes into the Dodgers and they use their black magic pitcher development strategies. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks against the Diamondbacks. Again, I'll be interested to see how it goes second time around. I think he'll get touched up for a little more this time. Like I said, the back-to-backs always favor the hitters. Kershaw got touched up a little bit. Baumgartner got touched up yet again. I think it'll happen with both Davies and Syndergaard here. Part of the reason why you see such a high 9.5 total there. And on top of that, if you even look at that 9.5, you're like, wow, you expect the Dodgers to do most of the scoring because the Diamondbacks are 30th right now in weighted runs created plus against righties. 173 plate appearances, only 43 weighted runs created plus. So I'll be interested to see how both these pitchers do. It's a true test for them, but I'm passing on this game. Now, shout out to my Washington Nationals here in our next game. Trevor Williams versus Austin Gomber. I've doubled up on the Nationals last night. Cashed them both. No sweat at all. Mackenzie Gore, he didn't pitch awesome, but he pitched good enough because the Nationals offense hit Jose Urena very hard. It was great. Team total over in the first 5 cash. Nationals first 5 cash. That made me feel very good about myself. Do I want to go back to the well here again? No, not particularly. Trevor Williams is not a guy I ever want to really be backing. Austin Gomber, he's a young pitcher. The guy they got, I guess the primary piece they got for Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals. So a lot of eggs are invested in his basket. He pitched fine last time out against the Padres. 6 innings, 3 earned runs against the Padres is something you would accept every time against the Padres if you're the Rockies, but not good enough for me here. It was a 10.5 last night for the total. Obviously jumps up to 11. That's kind of what happens at Wrigley or at Coors Field, and ultimately leaves me with no choice but to pass. Obviously, I lean towards an over a little bit, but I'll be more interested to see how Austin Gomber pitches against a shitty lineup that popped off last night. So, and shout out to CJ Abrams. Triples galore last night. So it was a great bet by me. Great bet by anyone else who made it. So shout out to me. A little pat on the back there. A little pat on the back. All right, last game on our slate, and it has our double up. And if you've watched this program before, you know what's coming. Jose Barrios versus Tyler Anderson on the bump here. And I'm not particularly a fan of Tyler Anderson. You know, I was kind of dubious on him pitching well outside of the Dodgers pitcher development factory, like we've mentioned. But he pitched great against Oakland. 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks. I'll be interested to see how he does against the Blue Jays. But Jose Barrios is just the worst. I've been saying it for quite a while now. I don't think he's good at all. I've been fading him very avidly. I mentally broke him during the WBC, Venezuela versus Puerto Rico. I'm not going to tell that story for the fucking 50th time. But I put him in the crippler crossface and the walls of Jericho, and I made him tap. And I made him tap last time when I put the triple up on the yield Royals last time, and he gave up 8 earned runs last time. I think I will be continuing to fade Jose Barrios into the oblivion. And by the way, Dabby Cab dropped his Angels first 5, and he likes the Angels as well. Shout out them, Dabby Cab. Again, tell your daughter good luck from all of us in her softball game. But yeah, I'm fading him here. My double up for the day here, and let me double check here. I want to quote myself correctly. I am also taking the Angels first 5 team total over here, 2.5 at even money, and I will double check that. That was on, I believe it was on Bovada, but I've got a plus 105 now on Bovada, so I want to double check that with Bet Online. Those are the 2 books I use, by the way, primarily Bet Online, Bovada, and I have a local here that I do make bets with, and I hate myself for it. Plus 105 actually now, so for Angels team total over, that makes me feel a little worried about it. Maybe we get to see a little good Jose Barrios today, but that's fine. I'm on Angels first 5 team total over 2.5 there, plus 105. And I also will put Angels first 5 minus a half in there as well, plus 110. I wish I would have bet this last night. I'll double check here. It was Angels minus 115 Blue Jays minus 105. Wish I would have just bet Angels full game money line there. Well, I want to avoid the Angels full game because of their bullpen. I full display of that last night. I had a great night last night. I lose. Who was the -1 that I lost yesterday? I don't even remember who the -1 I lost yesterday. I look back at my notes here. Atlanta. I lost Atlanta -1, and that was the only bet I thought I was going to lose. And then the Angels bullpen comes in and blows it for them. But it was an overall great day. We're a good day, one good day away from being in the black now for the season, which has been a climb. But I think hopefully today's the day, and I hope Jose Barrios is the guy that does it for us here. So Angels first 5 team total over 2.5 there, and Angels first 5 -0.5 there as well. So it was a great show. I'll recap our plays. Kind of a lighter card for me for what is expected on Saturdays and Sundays. Since I'm breaking out a full slate, I usually have a whole plethora of picks, bets out, but it's kind of a tighter card for me today, and I'll be interested to see how it shakes out for us there. All right, so officially, Say Hey Minute Play releases, like I said, the night before. There'll be one out for tonight on tomorrow's games. Kansas City Royals first 5 money line plus 118. Bet it last night, or got it last night, I should say. Angels first 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 105, and that first 5 -0.5. 2 plays that I immediately wrote down last night and bet as well today. Will be a good game there. I am officially, and this is where the part gets a little tricky, I'm going to move on the New York Mets first 5 team total over. I'll move on that because I don't want to go straight up heads up against Dami Gunn on that over 4 and that first 5. I believe in Dami Gunn, and I trust Dami Gunn too much to go up against him heads up, and we'll talk about him in just a moment. So I'll take first 5 team total over there again, 2.5 at plus 125. Pretty shocking number. Love that number. And my last play, another first 5 team total, just a full package of them today, 3 of them today. Team total over 2.5 there for the St. Louis Cardinals at minus 105, hoping they can get to a lefty there in Eric Lauer. Good times are going to be had today. I cannot wait. And we spoke about Dami Gunn throughout the show today. Our Sunday special guests rotates every week. This week, Dami Gunn joining us on Sunday morning to break down the entire baseball card. We've talked to Dami. We've broken down cards with Dami before. It's a great time. Love Uncle Dami. He is a great capper in the heart of Queens. Big Mets guy, too. So I can't wait to talk Metropolitans with him. Thanks, everyone, for watching. As always, it was a fun show. We had Dabby Cab for a lot of it. We had a little 15-minute powwow sesh, just us. And, hey, it's a good time. It's going to be a fun time to bring down the car with Dami tomorrow. Johnny Guns, Joe Yurkovitz, Vincent K. Mackwell, Christopher Commentini. Christopher Commentini, by the way, big as fuck. Dude could snap me in half with his hands. Leave some weight for the rest of us, Christopher Commentini. God damn. Huge man. Rants, Joe Ortner, Real Deal Prime, North Ender, not applicable, Rocco, a.k.a. Rocco Rogers, Real Deal Prime. All you guys, Markel, thank you for that question about offshores. Equanimous, Saturated. Shout out to you, Saturated, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're winning some poker tournaments. Alfred 44. It's been a great time scrolling through. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back here again tomorrow. We'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Like I said, or 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. Remos, the mustache might be gone. I might be. Well, my brother's coming in for his. He's an old man now. He's 40. My brother's flying in and seeing the fam. So I might keep the mustache just to appease him and make him laugh a little bit. But we'll see. It'll be gone soon. So thanks, everyone, for watching again. Hit the like button on your way out. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Till then, say hey, and we'll see you guys next time.